Welcome back, and started with requests, and we're going to kick off immediately. I don't think we must waste any time. Well, let's have a look at some gold shares. Goldfields is one of the ones. Scotchy is asking about Goldfields, and you know what is the interesting story? The interesting story is that most of the counters had some beautiful rallies, and suddenly the gold stocks was not in favor for the last couple of months. I'm starting to like some of the gold counters. Look at this. Goldfields, beautiful base from December. It consolidated between 154. Let's make it 155 there at the top and 122 at the bottom. That looks okay to me. And I like this consolidation because it tells me that something is on the go here. What I like about it is the following. And you will see it will immediately show us. And remember, we know by now that the market always like to give us a nice formation, turn around, and what do we see here? We see a beautiful left shoulder, and we see a nice head, and we're working on the right shoulder. But the big thing here is, and Scotchy, the big thing here is you must remember it must get above this neckline. And that neckline sits at 150 Rand. And the reason why I don't want to say to you that you must preempt it, because this market, if the market can come back, and that's a nice story, if it can come back, it looks like it cannot come back, then everything will probably be under pressure. So I will like this chart above 150. And the reason why I will like it, because then this formation will come into play. I will actually say above 150, it will give you a technical buying opportunity. Use this low of the right shoulder as your stop loss. That is sitting at, let's just get exact level there. That is sitting at 132.05. And what is my targets to the top? You will like this one. It is from the head to the neckline. And let's just extend it there. And then you can see, there you are. It can take it all the way back to 177.61. So a nice rally. Stick to your stop loss. Only buy above your neckline, because then this formation will come into play. And I like Goldfields, and the reason why I like it, it's not the kind of chart that it's like a momentum chart at the moment. All the other charts are almost just plain momentum. Everybody just chasing on anticipation of good results. And Rand can easily weaken, and it looks like the gold price is holding above that 1750 level, and that is good for the gold miners, especially if the Rand can weaken a little bit. But let's look at Peter's request, and how can we not talk about this? Let's have a look at Bitcoin. I think I must use a daily chart here, because this chart is telling us so many things. Let's have a look here. And I heard the other day that Tesla, Mr. Elon Musk, remember, he bought a lot of Bitcoins a while back, and he made some good profit. Everybody was rejoicing with him. And then when the results came out, Peter, Mr. Elon Musk said, yes, but they took profit on it as well. So what makes me a little bit nervous here is that, a company can go in, buy a instrument that's not even regulated, make money out of it, put it in their profits, and then say, listen, we made some money. And what is Tesla? Tesla is not a company that deals in currencies. They are a manufacturer of motor cars, electric motor cars. Suddenly, we are in a world where we learn a lot of things. So definitely, you can buy Bitcoin if you want to. But let's have a look at this chart. For me, it had a beautiful rally to about 66,000. What do we see here? This is something that I would like to show. Remember, it's the same thing with Bitcoin. A lot of investors just believe that this instrument cannot drop. Now, while it dropped from 66 to 48 the other day, but what we see now is a beautiful bullish engulfing candle with a nice dragonfly doji. That tells you that the investors are climbing back into the instrument. And it's quite simple. It is this support line, and that sits at 47,000. What makes me a little bit nervous is that we're sitting here maybe on a left shoulder. There you are sitting on the big head. And maybe we're going to see a bounce and then come back and test this neckline and maybe go below that. But I think, what is my target? My target is this little gap. This gap tells me we can maybe on this bounce go back, close this gap, and this gap is between 57525 and the low of that candle is 60,039. So I think if we can maybe head to the 60,039 level and close this gap, we can maybe, if we turn around from there, see that Bitcoin can drop and that it can work on a formation and show us a bit of a correction. What is also important to me, if I zoom out a little bit here, and I want to show you something here. We are sitting here with a little candle there. There you are. And you can see there's also a tiny gap there. Let's maybe just show you. Let's spend a little bit of time here. There you are. I just want to draw it in there. There you are. I just want to draw that one in. I'm going to draw another one in. And you can see there's a little gap there, developed there a few days ago. And this gap is also open. Now, if you can see a gap there and a turnaround, you can easily talk about what we talk a abandoned baby scenario. Now, an abandoned baby scenario is not positive. So that tells you that there is some serious selling going on here. But the big thing is, if it closes the 60.39, this abandoned baby will be wiped off the table. If it turns around from there, we can maybe see the right shoulder forming. So, Peter, I will say be a little bit nervous, be a little bit careful, just to say that Bitcoin can just go up because it can change. It can maybe surprise us. For me, the big thing will be this neckline. While it is above this neckline, the uptrend is still 100% in place. And the reason why I'm saying that, I mean, it's coming from 19,000 in a few, you can almost say a few months. But I just want to check something here. Let's just give it a little bit of a chance here. There's so many, you can almost say, traders involved in Bitcoin that people say, listen, this stock can just go up. Let's just see. It's your 200-day moving average. It's way above the 200-day moving average. So that tells you it can maybe evenly give us sometime a pullback to this 200-day moving average. Because look what happens in the past. If you look at Bitcoin for a long time, for a long time, it worked just above its 200-day moving average. But now it just rallied way above that. So what can we expect? We can expect that we will probably sometime in future see a head and shoulder or a double top or something like that, and then from there pull back to the 200-day moving average. Let's have a look at Bram's request, and Bram is looking at Omnia. He likes Omnia. Let's see. And remember, Omnia is the fertilizer guys, but they're also in chemicals. And this is one company that's involved in an industry in South Africa that's still making good money, and that is the agricultural industry. And of course, we know that Omnia is also a good rand hedge. But same story here, beautiful rally from September, from 23 to 50. But what do we see here? We are 100% above the support line. That makes me positive. There you are. I just want to draw the top end in as well. There's the top end of the ascending channel. Guys, while it is moving above the support line, and that is above 45.83, that's Bram. Bram, while it's above 45.83, this chart is positive. Same story like the other charts. I'll wait for it to come back to this line before I'll buy it. I'll buy it at 45.90. I will make use of a stop loss of 44.21, and my target will be the upper band here, 53.26. But what I want to say is, while we're in this ascending channel, it's fine. But when it breaks here, it can easily go back to this 200-day moving average, and that's exactly the target, strangely enough. Let's have a look there. If it breaks, and you extend it to the downside, there you are. It can easily take it back to the 200-day moving average. So be careful. That's why I will say stick to your stop loss, especially if it breaks here, because then it can go back to this 39 level. Let's have a look at Anton's request. He's looking at BHP Bulletin. He still believes that there's a lot of money to be made there. Let's have a look. BHP Bulletin. Oh yes, Anton, this is a nice chart. Just shows you we had a bit of a pullback. We're working on it, but what do I see? Anton, you may be right. You're going to maybe see a nice little bounce here, but immediately when I see this, I'm nervous. There you are. Anton, you can maybe buy this chart on the momentum side for a little bit of a rally, but what do I see here? A left shoulder, and I see a head, and a possible right shoulder, but on the good side to it, if it breaks that little line above there, let's just draw that line in. Anton, if it can get above there, then it tells you that this right shoulder is maybe off the table. There you are. And that will be above 449 Rand and 40 cents. Then we can easily see it higher. But for me, I will use this as my guideline because that is the high of the left shoulder. If it can get above 466.92, I know that this scenario will not play out. Then I can chase it. But for me, personally, I think if you want to buy it now, buy it above this line, and that's 449.51. 449.51. If you chase it above that momentum trade, use this as your stop loss 427.94, and your target maybe will the top of the left. I will usually just take it just below that, but let's give you level 466.92. If we can get above 466.92, different story, but otherwise use this as your target, but stick to your stop loss because below 408 Rand, this neckline will come into play and take the share down. Well, thank you for watching the show. Visit the website www.fransklerk.com. Until next time.